What's up, boys? With 2.1 coming out recently, I wanted to finally make the build guide on the most recent build I've been playing. It's Primal Strike's Ritualist. In the recent patch, most versions of this build were nerfed, as most people playing this build were running the bug support gem culmination, which effectively was giving them infinite damage. This bug has since been fixed with 0.2.1, and you can no longer generate damage using culmination in the way that you could before. I have found a way around this to still have super insane clear and still pretty crazy bossing damage at higher levels of investments. First, we're going to go over why Ritualist and not an Ascendancy like Gemling. I personally prefer Ritualist because the bonuses that Ritualists give us are far greater than Gemling's bonuses, and we also start in a lot better position than Gemling does, opposed to here. The Ritualist Ascendancy also gives us pretty much innate damage because of the bonuses and extra ring slot. Also gives us a ton of survivability with the infinite charms, and Gemling does not give us any of that. First thing we're going to go over in the guide is the gear. So on our helmet, we are running at least 35% rarity, as much energy shield as possible, and 2 or more resistances. On my body armor, I'm running as much evasion and energy shield as I can with triple res. On my boots, I'm running triple res and a lot of energy shield. On your boot slot, you do not need movement speed, as we are moving around with whirling slash and not actually walking. If you don't want triple res and you want extra rarity on the build, you can easily swap out one of the resistances for some rarity. I would definitely recommend this if you do actually have quite high resistances, as the extra rarity on boots is quite high. On our glove slot, we're running flat damage, critical damage bonus, and attack speed. The dex isn't extremely important here, but that's just what I got when I bought the item. So I could have with some chaos res, as otherwise we don't have as much. Forgot to mention, but on the body armor, we want Rambler Jacket, as we get the innate chaos res from it. On our belt, we're running an Ingenuity with Corrupted with increased maximum energy shield. This belt, Ingenuity, can have minimum of 2 charm slots and as much bonuses from your rings as possible. You also want to get the charm charges gained and used, so you have reduced charm charges used and increased charm charges gained, opposed to the opposite, because these roll quite weirdly. For your amulet, I'm running a gold amulet. It, in theory, does not matter what base amulet you're running. I just got a gold because the rarity is nice. On this amulet, you want to run increase maximum energy shield, spirit, at least 40 spirit. I think you probably scrape away with 35. 20% crit chance, 20% critical damage bonus. So yeah, for your anoint, I'm running storm charge, but if you feel squishy, you can run subterfuge mask. But then you need quite a high investment on your sandstorm tiara, as you want like a shit ton of energy shield. For my rings, I'm running a lot of flat damage. On 2 of them, I'm running 20% rarity and 30 dex. I'm also running some resistances. Very similar ring here, just with fire damage. This one doesn't have rarity. You can probably get away with only running 2 rings with attributes, but I'm running double res on this one, 30 dex and some flat. For your weapon set 1 weapon, you want to run a sea glass spear, as it has the highest base attack speed. And I'm running at least 250 accuracy, probably, if you can, at least 15% attack speed. And instead of critical hit chance, critical damage bonus is probably better, but you want those 3 stats and as much flat damage as possible. On the weapon set 2, we're running a Tangle Tongue with critical damage bonus. You can get a 2 socket, which is would be better than this one, but this is almost perfect roll, so. Then you're also running a Sacred Flame with as much extra fire damage as possible. I should be running a different talisman here that gives increased presence radius for Deepest Tower, but I don't. If you don't have the currency for a Sacred Flame, although I think they're like 8 divine at the moment as time of recording, you can buy one of the Guiding Palm Scepters, which are like 1 divine corrupted. For your charms, you want to run a Bleed Charm, so Sanguine Staunching Charm, so you have immunity to bleeding. I'm running a Thawing Charm and then a Stun Charm. You could swap this out for a Rarity Charm. I've just run this because when you don't run it, you feel like you get frozen all the time. Your mana flask, amount recovered, and probably instead of gain charges, I was just testing this. Increased charges is probably better. Amount recovered and charges here is good too. And Olros flask can totally work if you have the currency for it. The reason we're running Ingenuity here opposed to like a Rare Bout or Headhunter is one, Headhunter you can get a modifier from monsters that makes you teleport, and that is not good for Whirling Slash, as it will reset your Whirling Slash to 0 and reset the shocked ground on it. In my inventory, I'm running Wake of Destruction and a Deepest Tower. I will discuss the use case for these later into the video. But for now, the next thing we're going to go over is our skill gems. So for weapon set 2, we have Purity Fire with Herbalism and Vitality. Weapon set 2, we're also running Primal Strikes with Execute, Overextend, Primal Armament, Concentrated Effect, and Martial Tempo. On weapon set 1, we are running this Whirling Slash, which is our attack speed and damage Whirling Slash with Bullseye for more accuracy, Lightning Pin, Primal Armament, Concentrated Effect, and Martial Tempo for a lot more attack speed. This Whirling Slash you want to keep around level 10. You could go higher, but then the mana cost is going to be a lot higher. But I've decided to keep it around level 10 as it's probably the best. This is also on weapon set 1. Again, on weapon set 1, we're running Herald of Thunder with Innovate, Glaciation, Ice Bite, Cold Infusion, and Embitter. We're running these 4 cold gems as we want to freeze enemies with Herald of Thunder. So Ice Bite activates. And with Ice Bite, we gain a lot of extra damage as cold, and freezing enemies makes this build feel like a lot more tanky, as then the monsters just cannot move and attack you. On weapon set 2, we're running Cast on Crit, level 14, with Ball Lightning as level 11, Frostbolt, level 3, Flame Wall around level 10. It doesn't really matter what level Flame Wall is, it's just going to cost more at higher levels. Inspiration and Embitter. Then on weapon set 2 again, for AoE, we have this level 3 Whirling Slash with Magnified Effect, Reach, Expanse, Font of Mana, and Font of Rage. On both weapon sets, we have Trinity with Fire Mastery, Cold Mastery, Lightning Mastery, Precision, and Clarity. Threshold for Trinity is level 23, as that's when you gain 7% more elemental damage per 30 resonance, and you also get 14 resonance for each elemental damage you use. Then on weapon set 2, we're running a Ghost Dance with Fast Forward just for more survivability during bossing. Then doesn't really matter what weapon set you're running Flammability on. I have it around level 14 as well, as that's the lowest mana cost. This same intelligence cost as Cast on Crit. Then on this Flammability, we are running Heightened Curse, Curse Ground, Arcane Tempo, and Persistence. Now, you're probably wondering, why not Conductivity? I thought Primal Strikes is a lightning skill, and that is the case. But since we're running Sacred Flame, we gain a lot of damage as fire damage, and our fire damage is actually higher than our lightning damage, especially on the last one. So Flammability is in turn giving us a lot more added damage against bosses than Conductivity is. For bossing and mapping, we are running swapping out our skill gems on these 4 skills. So for mapping, we're running Whirling Slash with Primal Armaments, Concentrated Effect, and Herald of Thunder with Embitter. Then for bossing, we switch the Primal Armaments, Concentrated Effect, and Martial Tempo onto Primal Strikes, and Embitter from Herald of Thunder onto Cast on Crit. Next, I'm going to go over the skill tree and like the weapon swap. So for our Ascendancy, we're running this whole charm node, as Infinite Charms is very good, and another charm slot is also very nice. You might want to go these nodes for Ritual Sacrifice, but it's just a worse Headhunter, and Infinite Charms makes you feel a lot more tanky. Blood Boil maybe, but I haven't seen Blood Boil doing much, to be honest. And then obviously we run this whole ring node. And for our negative from running this, we're running Reduced Mana. And for the skill tree, we go over here, grab this node, we grab a lot of critical damage bonus and crit chance on this tree. This one, instead we have crit chance instead of the critical damage bonus on this side. Then I'm I'm level 94 on this build, so I've got this extra skill. This build can kind of work at like level 90 onwards. Then we get some more skill speed here, and Falcon Dive for a lot added attack speed. We get these nodes for attack speed and damage. Come down here, get this dual socket. More critical damage bonus here. Get a lot of energy shield from this node and Eternal Youth. Oh, and we're also running Dance with Death for a lot more added attack speed on our Sea Glass Spear. Then we grab this crit node, as it is a lot of damage and also some nice attributes. And then we come down here, get some more crit damage, attack speed, and some energy shield. For our weapon set 1, which is our attack speed weapon slot, these are the red nodes. We get skill speed, attack speed, damage with Hero to Thunder, magnitude of shock, because the magnitude of shock from the shocked ground on Wake of Destructions, as long as you're on weapon set 1, you're gaining that magnitude. So instead of being 20% base, it's like 35% base, I think. Then we also get this accuracy, because accuracy means attack speed on this build. Then we run this versatile arms node. If you don't have enough skill points, you can get these instead and get rid of these ones, but I had the skill points left over, and this is more optimal. Then I'll go over our weapon set 2. So on weapon set 2, we stack a lot of AoE, because that's this Welling Slash. This is our AoE one, so it's a lot better for clear. So we have a bit of AoE and damage penetration here. More AoE in this node. Some critical damage bonus, because this is also our damaging weapon set. And we also come down here to the stars aligned node, as this gains so much extra damage with Deepest Tower. It's like actually insane, because Deepest Tower is our like main damaging thing. For bossing, we switch this over. Oh, I forgot to mention we get this one for attack speed and accuracy rating on weapon set 1. So I realized while editing that I forgot to put the jewels in, so I'll do that now. But for the first emerald, I have critical damage bonus for attack damage, some damage with spears, and some attack speed. Same for this one, critical hit chance, damage, and attack speed. This one I've got double critical damage bonus and some attack damage. This time loss emerald, I have critical hit chance for attacks and critical damage bonus with spears for the passive nodes. It would be nice if you could get like increased radius or like added damage per small passive, but it's probably more expensive. Then this jewel, I have critical hit chance, critical damage bonus, and maximum energy shield. This is probably like the most expensive jewel I have. So if you could like lose one of the critical hit chances, then it'll be a lot less expensive. Anyway, back to the rest of the video. Now I'll probably discuss like how the build works and all the little niche of it. So on bossing, we switch out Deepest Tower, as without Deepest Tower, our damage is like very bad. Deepest Tower makes so enemies in our presence count as being on low life. And what this means is that if we're running Execute as well, 50% more damage against enemies on low life. Stars aligned, damage with hits is lucky. So what lucky is, it rolls your damage twice, and it chooses the highest damage from those two rolls. And then this is more damage against hits on enemies on low life, and all these small nodes are the same. So Deepest Tower like doubles our damage basically. But tooltip doesn't matter, because Deepest Tower is not showing in our tooltip. So at the start of a map, or like during a boss fight like King of the Mist, we pop down our area of effect Welling Slash, which also starts generating rage for a lot more damage. And then we use our normal Welling Slash twice, and then we switch to Wake of Destruction. It is very important, when you switch to Wake of Destruction, please make sure you're on weapon set 1, as otherwise you're not going to be benefiting from the magnitude of shock from these nodes. So then you pop that on. It doesn't seem to be doing anything now, but if you walk around a little bit, it generates our shocked ground, so it makes it so we can instantly shock bosses instantly shock enemies and proc Herald of Thunder a lot. The reason we are running Cast on Crit with all these is because these 3 skills are generating us like triple Trinity, so then that's like a shit ton more elemental damage to attacks with Trinity. And without this, we wouldn't be able to generate triple Trinity, let alone double Trinity, as we'd only be doing like a single elemental damage type. Now, you've probably gone around on YouTube or PoE Ninja, wherever, seeing people running, instead of Whirling Slash, like Lightning Spear and Storm Lance. The reason I think Whirling Slash is better is 1, your movement speed is going to be a lot faster, and 2, you don't have to be spamming Storm Lance in bosses, as when you're running Shock Ground, even if the enemy has like insane elemental ailment threshold, they'll instantly be applied with shock from that shocked ground. There's no way to avoid it. So what that does, when we're using primal strikes to consume the shock, it is consuming the shock, but our Whirling Slash is instantly reapplying it. And we just are able to spam primal strikes in the boss fight because of that, instead of having to do a couple primal strikes, reapply shock, then do more primal strikes. In turn, it's like a shit ton more damage. That's probably going to wrap it up for the build guide. But there is going to be in the description an updating PoE 2 Ninja with the exact character that I'm playing on stream. We're also going to have a Mobalytics written guide in the description. Definitely come check us out on Twitch, as it's the best way to support me. If you don't have any questions, of course, pop them down in the comments or come ask on Twitch. Anyway, though, have a great rest of your day, time zone, whatever, and I will see you hopefully on the Twitch. Peace out.